Hello traders, Matt Weller here, Global Head of Research with StoneX's self-directed brands including Forex.com. I'm bringing you a preview of Wednesday's highly anticipated FOMC meeting, one that's unlikely to provide any immediate changes to interest rates, but could show increasing fractions underneath the surface that could set the stage for the rest of the year and, of course, have a big influence on markets. Let's get into everything that you need to know ahead of the FOMC meeting. So broadly speaking, the FOMC will almost certainly keep interest rates unchanged in the 4.25 to 4.50% range. Most Fed officials are concerned that the new tariffs instituted by the US could lead to increasing inflation in the latter half of this year and into 2026, and therefore merit a higher interest rate above the neutral rate to keep that inflation under control. Despite that as expected decision, we could see increasing fractures underneath the surface. And specifically, I'll be keeping an eye out for how many dissents there are against the consensus decision. This is something that's been exceedingly rare under Fed Chairman Powell. To get some specific data, we've only seen 2 dissents since mid-2022. So the last 3 years, only 2 Fed officials have dissented across 20 meetings, and there were only 3 interest rate related dissents since COVID, going back 36 meetings. So this is something that's been extremely rare under Fed Chairman Powell. However, in this meeting, we're anticipating the potential for 1 or maybe even 2 dissents in favor of an immediate interest rate cut. Keep an eye on Waller and Bowman as the most likely candidates. The other key news that we'll be watching, especially in the wake of last week's tour of the Federal Reserve building, is the political pressure that the Fed and specifically Chairman Powell is under. President Trump has been pushing increasingly hard for aggressive interest rate cuts from the Fed. I don't expect Powell to comment on that at any length. I expect he'll downplay that political pressure, say he's focused on keeping inflation under control, keeping the labor market strong, as the Fed's dual mandate suggests. Instead, Powell will start to look ahead and focus on his legacy ahead of the end of his chairmanship at the start of next year. Some specific charts that kind of underscore some of the key developments we'll be watching. Here's a chart of all the dissents that we've seen under Chairman Powell's increasingly long tenure. You can see that there have only been 5 single dissents since the depths of the COVID pandemic. So generally speaking, Powell has been able to get everyone on the same page. I don't expect that to be the case here, and we could see the most dissents that we've seen going back all the way to 2019. And indeed, this could be the first time that 2 Fed governors dissent against a meeting decision in the last 30 years, going back to 1993. So that really underscores this increasing dissent underneath the surface at the Federal Reserve. The key question for traders will be how this meeting shapes expectations for September. Currently, traders and economists expect the Fed to cut interest rates in December, but that's only about 65% or 2 in 3 odds priced in. If Powell comes out more hawkish, more focused on the potential for rising inflation, perhaps we could see those numbers shift and make September more of a coin flip as traders prepare for the release of Friday's non-farm payrolls reports and a couple more jobs reports, as well as look at inflation, CPI, PCE, that could shape Fed expectations in the coming months. If we do see that more hawkish than anticipated statement from Fed Chairman Powell, that's where we could get perhaps some strength in the US dollar, some weakness in the US stock market as traders push back their expectations for interest rate cuts, despite some of that tension we talked about under the surface. Thanks for watching this video, and if you could, please do drop a like on it, which really helps us with the algorithms, and give us a subscription at StoneX Official on YouTube for more videos like this. Thank you.